Okay, so I've pulled myself together and I just have a note here about this singer, Dimash. Just a quick note, because as a teacher, a voice teacher, a humanities instructor, a writer, an academic, and an artist, I have never seen anything like Dimash. And so when a piece of art is as powerful as the story of One Sky is, someone like me, a teacher who wants to, teach, I don't have to do anything, because that piece taught. That piece was not didactic, but the art itself, the message that this singer, this artist, this writer, composer, and performer, the message was so strong, it didn't need any commentary from me. So as a reactor, I reacted and I pulled myself together, and I'm back to say, as a teacher, this is the kind of art I want to see. This is the kind of powerful messaging that art can bring to society. This is why we are creative. Creativity is what brings us together. These creative acts bring us together in a concert, right? And we enjoy the performer, and our heartbeats synchronize with each other, and we enjoy the music. But beyond that, music has always been for ritual. Long before electronic music, long before we had record albums or the radio. I mean, imagine the days when somebody was just gifted with a beautiful voice. Let's just pick Ireland. And they could sing like "Oh Danny Boy" so beautifully. And people would walk for miles to go sit on the dirt in the fields and listen to someone sing and give them whatever they had, because their voice was worthy of sitting there and just being in their presence and being moved by the tenor of their voice, so that it would help people feel their feelings and be more human and connect on every level. And aside from that, we use music for funerals. We use music for birthday parties. And early on, we used music for worship, for rain, for anything, for calling upon the gods. It's a religious experience. And now in our world, and believe me, I'm a voice teacher, it's not about that, is it? It's not. It's about other things. It's about making money. It's about entertainment, which is fine. None of that is bad. But I'm living in that soup in Los Angeles, California. So you can imagine how disarmed, that's my word for Dimash, how shocked I am and how overwhelmed I am to meet somebody who is carrying the burden of the collective on his tiny little shoulders at his very youthful age. He hasn't been around that long. I don't know how old he is. I forgot. I know you guys told me. But he's young. But he's an old soul. And so what he's doing, I've called him a shaman before. Musicians are somewhat shamans. They bring people together and they serve a function in the force of creativity, not only to unite us, but to connect us with our humanity and to one another and to the material. So when he completely uses the form that has turned into, a 3-minute song is what we're used to, right? We're not used to, however long that was, a 10-minute song by one person that goes into so many movements, like a small mini musical or one-man show. So I was not expecting that, but I have already done a voice teacher reacts on him. So I was expecting to be, moved. And the first one got me bad, and I didn't want to fall apart again. That's why I ended it the second time I did it. I just didn't want to go there again. But darn it, if he did it to me again. So I was embarrassed that I didn't watch the whole thing when you guys got mad at me. But at the time, I just thought, you guys are sick of hearing me, and where can it go from here? I literally have no category for what he did. How was I supposed to know that he would then go into an operatic, lyrical soprano, almost a coloratura on a couple of notes. Very classical, very angelic. Then he would turn it upside down and not only do hard rock with the very edgy edge of the chords, lots of resistance, screech sound that is really hard to master. And it's hard to do in one night at a concert, let alone in one song back to back. It's like going from the trampoline to the bars to the rings to the floor as a gymnast in circles. It's really hard to do. And he did it. So he went from that. This is just from the second half today. He went into the angelic, soft on clouds, lyrical, coloratura, soprano, whistle tone, soothing, into the hard rock, hard compression, edgy. And then just blew me away doing a screamo. We call it, that screamo, that hard rack, where you sort of grind the chords. There's a skill to it. I don't teach it, but there's a skill to it. And usually you lean into the microphone and you just kind of, and then the sound people turn it up and you fake that it's hard and you kind of pretend you're screaming and then you lean into it. I'm not going to demonstrate it. I don't do it. I don't teach it and I don't love it. But now I see that it has its place, because when he got so desperate and cried and screamed, literally what sounded like he was grinding his vocal cords, but of course he's skilled at it. He's not hurting himself. And he led us in kind of that mob. We want change. We want peace. He led us with his voice. So he's clearly a shaman. He's a leader. He's using every little corner of his voice like I've never seen anyone do. As a voice teacher for 40 years, and I've worked with Broadway students, I've worked with pop stars, I've worked with television stars, I've worked with little 5-year-olds, I've worked with 75-year-olds. I work with anyone. I don't just work with people who are trying to get famous. I really believe in the power of music, and I really believe in the power of the voice. And I'm glad before I retired, I got to see it all encompassed in one performance. So, as I said, he doesn't need me to make a commentary and try and explain to you what he's doing. It's obvious that he has a calling, but I'm just glad I got to see it. So thank you for reprimanding me and making me go back. I'm very moved, and I'm done now. I am Renee Urbanovich. Please like, subscribe, and share, and join me for more Voice Teacher Reacts, where we explore my favorite instrument, the voice. We explore the mysteries of creativity through my favorite instrument, the voice. Man, this guy's got me all flustered. Okay. See you next time. Bye-bye.